What is the monetary value of that value that we bring to projects? And how do we calculate it?
Hi, I'm Beth Beesky, the founder of More Time to Design and your host of the Design Dialogues podcast. I've been a designer for the last 12 years and I've run my own studio for 5. And I know how hard it is to run a successful business. You not only need to be great at designing, but you need to be great at all the other things as well. I created More Time to Design, a software platform to help designers run efficient studios, and I've created the Design Dialogue podcast to help us all learn together. Each week, we will meet professionals who are at the top of their game doing things that help us run our studios. We'll have conversations with social media managers, interior design mentors, copywriters, stylists, photographers, suppliers, and also designers who have been in the game for a long time and who have such a wealth of knowledge to share. I hope that each week you feel inspired and informed at the end of each of our design dialogues. So join me for the Design Dialogue podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 42 of the Design Dialogues podcast. It is another solo with Beth episode today. So I was at a function a few weeks ago and it was kind of like an interior design product showcase evening. It was a room full of interior designers. And I am a very inquisitive person, if you haven't already noticed. And I was talking to a group of designers about the mood in the industry at the moment. This was a group of designers that were based all over New South Wales, a real mix of styles of projects, different budgets. It was a really good snapshot of the industry. Were people busy with projects, or was the pipeline of work a bit quiet? And we got talking about fee proposals and how, because it has been a bit quiet out there at the moment, and that sometimes they're not sure where the next project is coming, that when they have been sending out their fee proposals, they've kind of been hesitating on the fee that they should be including in it. And this is quite common. I think when there is plenty of work, you feel really confident with the number that you put into your fee proposal because you kind of know there's going to be someone else inquiring tomorrow. But when it's quiet and you're not sure when the next inquiry is going to come, it can be harder to be confident about putting the right number into your fee proposal. One of the really interesting things that came up in the chat was the process everyone was using to put together their fee proposals and what kind of information each of these designers was using when it came to putting together their fee proposal. Now, we've all seen that Instagram quote about how it only takes me 5 minutes to do something, but you're actually paying me for the 10 years of experience that I have, which allows me to do that task in 5 minutes. And I so much believe in our fees, our services, not just being an exchange of time for money, that they really are an exchange of money for value. I 100% agree with that and believe in it. And it is how I base my fee proposals in my own design studio. However, what is the value? What is the monetary value of that value that we bring to projects? And how do we calculate it? How do you work out how much they should be paying for that value you bring? For architects, their fee is often tied to the value of the build. How do we as interior designers work out the value of our services? And where is the data that you are using to base that figure on? How do you collect it? How do you manipulate it? How do you analyze it? So for example, whenever I send out a fee proposal, I look at the last few projects that are of a similar size and scope to make sure that I am charging enough, not just enough to cover the basics, but to ensure that my design studio is hitting the income goals that I've set for myself. It's also a way to ensure that I'm covering any outsourcing that I might be doing. So for example, I like to outsource my documentation. It's not something that I particularly enjoy. I always find it interesting how many designers don't collect data like this. They don't make these decisions around fees based on data. It's kind of a bit of a back of an envelope calculation. And so often when people actually do start tracking their time, they are constantly surprised on how long a task takes. Something that I had put 20 hours aside for, it actually took them closer to 30. And you imagine doing that over several projects. That difference in time is really adding up. So next time you're doing a fee proposal, have a think about what you are basing your fee proposal on and how are you collecting that data? How are you spending your time? Yes, your fee proposal should be based on the value that you are giving to your client. It is not an exchange of time for hours. It is an exchange of money for value. But is that value-driven fee proposal actually covering the hours you are spending on these projects? Are you making the kind of profit in your business that you want to be making so that you are living the lifestyle that you want to be living while working for yourself? As they say, you will never work harder than you work for yourself, and you must make sure you are making the money to make it worth it. So have a think. How are you collecting your data? How are you tracking your time? Do you use an app? Do you use a product like More Time to Design? Is your time tracking easily integrated into your workflow? Because if it's not easily able to be done, you won't do it. Have a think about it, because I promise if you are making decisions on your data, you would definitely be charging more than what you're currently charging. I love talking about business processes and systems. And if you have a question about anything like this, please send me a DM, an email. I would love to chat. And I really hope you're finding these little snippets of business systems and processes helpful. And I really hope they're getting you to think about what the systems and processes you have in your business and could they do with a bit of a fine tune.
Thank you for listening to this design dialogue. I hope you have found it full of inspiration and helpful information to take into your design studio. If you like the podcast and want to hear more, consider sharing it or writing a review, as it helps us reach more people, and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. If you would like to unlock the power of effortless studio management and elevate your design business to new heights, please follow the links in our show notes to see how More Time to Design can help you build a better business. Have a great week, and I will see you for our next Design Dialogue.